Uh, in the meantime, there's another question. Lottie is here. Lottie says, I'm wondering why when I am doing my work, why some insults which are just part of life, I know, but like your idea is rubbish, etc. Why the insult stays in my mind? Yeah, well, because you're always conditioned to look for affirmation from outside of you. And the outside words coming from outside is the way you evaluate yourself. And if it happens to be a word like this, that you just said, like your opinion is rubbish or something, a derogatory thing, you think, because it's a suggestion, that outside, on top of the fact that you've been conditioned to think that the outside opinion evaluates you, it's also you're hearing a word and you are focusing on the power and the meaning of the word, and it's a suggestion to your mind and brings your attention to that. What if that is correct? Because the word has meaning, and you're focusing on the meaning of the word that is being suggested to you, and your mind starts processing that against your ego and against your person and what you see yourself and expect to be treated as respect and affirmation and acceptance, because you're not focusing on the source of where it came from, which is some asshole in somewhere who has made nothing out of his or her life and is just making the word, and suddenly you think that word and that comment worth anything because you're focusing on the meaning of the word. The word itself, the sentence itself, has a meaning, has a power. But if instead of focusing on the meaning and power of the word, which affects you and makes you that it has credibility and legitimacy, and you get affected by that suggestion because that the meaning that the word, the sentence carries is already proven and is not contestable, because that meaning to that word and sentence is proved, has got credibility, is proved that that word, that sentence means what it is. But instead of focusing on that which is incontestable, so to speak, if that's the right word, you should focus on the source of where the comment comes from. When you focus on the source, not the sentence, because the sentence already has proven its meaning in the dictionaries, and you're conditioned to believe what that word means has its meaning. It's not disputable. That word and that sentence means what it is. You're convinced of that, and because you're convinced of the meaning of that sentence, you think you're convinced of that meaning also pertains to you as being correct. But instead of that, you should focus on the source where that sentence was uttered from, came from. And you focus on the source, and you say the source is not credible. The source has no authority. The source does not have credibility to dub you with that meaning of that sentence. So in other words, it's like a rock is being thrown at you, the rock hits you, and you think the person who threw the rock was correct. No, it's how the rock affects you when it hits you. You focus on the person who threw the rock, say, that was an asshole. That was a wrong thing to do. But the rock does has effect on you. And the same thing, the sentence has a meaning, a suggestion, and you're affected by that. But instead of focusing on that, which is proven what it means, and you can't dispute that, it's in the dictionary, that's the meaning of that word and that sentence, you focus on the source, the person who said it, and you will see that person is not qualified to have that opinion about you. Then you won't mind it. You say, okay, the heck with that. He or she is an asshole or not qualified. Who the hell is she or he to be able to say that, and that could affect me in any way? And of course, the rest of it is your ego and the way that you don't expect anybody to throw a rock in your pond and create splashes, because you see the surface always as smooth and glossy and reflective as you always want it to. And it's a disturbance to that calmness, and that is what pisses you off. Otherwise, that calmness is disrupted for a moment, but quickly it's deep enough that the rock will go down, and the ripples will stop, and it'll be calm again, and it's recovered. So nothing really comes short of you. Nothing happens to you when they say such words and whatnot, because naturally, lock upon, it will recover itself, and it won't even pay attention to the rock that fell into it. It's too deep for the rock to continuously have splashes. The splashes will eventually die down, and you should focus on how deep you are than the rock that was thrown at you. You focus on the source of the person who uttered those sentences than the meaning of the sentences. Then you'll see that person is not qualified to have such opinion, and that opinion has no value and cannot shake who you are. All right, having said that, that was the last question, I think. Right, Chloe. Okay, guys, so I thank you very much for being with me and spending your time with me. I love you all, and be looking forward to tomorrow's talk, hopefully, if we can have that. And in the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.